Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Chaffee on this Monday, a beautiful Monday here in the Northeast, and why wouldn't it be? We've got this beautiful air mass that came down from the Northwest and in Canada, and as we look at the upper air going forward, the trough in the east is going to hang on for a little while longer. We still have the axis of that trough to our west, so there's another disturbance that's going to be moving through here on Tuesday. Ridge up the Rockies, a little bit of troughing along the west coast, and right down here is Hurricane Dora on the Pacific side, east of the coast of Mexico, and moving generally away from land. It's a nice looking hurricane on the satellite loop, which we will take a look at shortly, but you can see the jet stream signature here as we move through the week. That last trough swings through here Tuesday night, so during the day Tuesday we might have a shower or a thunderstorm, but the air mass is pretty dry, so it's not going to be any kind of widespread activity. I tend to think they'll be isolated in nature. And then as the trough lifts up and another one digs down into the northern Rockies and Plains, you're going to have a bit of a ridge here in the east at the end of the week and into the weekend. Not much of one, but enough to bring temperatures and humidity up to some degree. They're not going to be anything excessive, and there will also be the risk of some showers and thunderstorms as pieces of this trough break off and then start to run up into the Northeast and New England. We have one for late Friday and into the weekend, and then as we go into next week on the 4th of July, you've got this system that's setting up excuse me, in the middle Mississippi Valley. You have a trough that runs from southwest Canada off the west coast. I kind of drew that a little bit too far. You see the general jet stream. The main jet is pulled up somewhat to the Canadian border, but there's no big upper high to create any kind of excess heat at all. And moving into July, at least by way of the GFS around day 10, which is July 7th, we do have an upper high along the east coast to some degree, and also an upper high back in the southern Rockies. The main jet is well to the north in Canada, in the east. It comes down a little bit into the west. And, you know, it really is kind of looking like a typical summer pattern. You know, toward the end of the period, you do have this, west-northwest flow. So at least from that standpoint, what that will mean is that we will continue to have weather fronts of varying strengths and degrees impacting our weather every few days or so. It won't be able to get hot. We'll maybe get very warm and humid for a day or two, and then it'll dry out for a day or two. This is very typical. And, you've got the Azores high way out in the Atlantic. You don't have any real Bermuda high here. You've got a narrow Pacific ridge, which is typical, and a pretty active jet running across, for this time of year anyway, running across the Pacific into the west coast. So, from the standpoint of weather in the short range, it really not too much is happening. I can show you on the radar today, at least during the morning hours, it's not too much. You've got some showers and storms off the Carolinas. Got some rain and storms in northern Missouri, southern Iowa, and the upper Midwest, and the upper peninsula of Michigan. And you got some scattered shower activity up in parts of the Northwest. On the satellite loop in the east, you can see all the nice, dry, clear skies that we're enjoying. Some patchy clouds up to the north in upstate New York and northern New England. Also, there's a system with the rain in the Great Lakes, and also this little one that's up and through northern Missouri, southern Iowa. A little bit of action down along the Gulf Coast offshore, but nothing by tropical standards. There's nothing here to be concerned about. The tropics on the Atlantic side are fairly quiet. On the west coast, you've got the morning low clouds in northern California northward. Not much from San Francisco down to San Diego, however. Fairly dry, as you would expect. You can get this little disturbance up in the northwest. A bit of a trough here. You can see it here with how the low clouds are rotating. And when we look at the tropics on the Atlantic side, you see a few tropical waves here. One way out in the Atlantic, another one that is maybe about 600 or 700 miles southeast of the Windward Islands. There's no organization with any of this. You've got some convection developing in the southwest Caribbean, and then out on the Pacific side. One of the things what's very useful about the water vapor is always that you can see the features based on the water vapor in the atmosphere going all the way up. You've got this big rotating upper low in the south central, in the central Atlantic, right along 25 north. So this is creating strong wind shear environment. You also can see there's a lot of dry air here out in the tropics, north of 15 degrees north. It's all very dry from just east of the windwards all the way across the tropical Atlantic. So the zone of tropical shower and thunderstorm activity, what we call the intertropical convergence zone, is basically along and south of 10 degrees north. So it's still pretty far south. As we get toward August, we're going to start to see this area push further and further north. And sometimes in active years, the intertropical convergence zone could actually at times set up pretty far to the north, between 20 and 25, and that's oftentimes when you see a lot of tropical storm activity. Right now, what we're seeing is just basically what you would expect to see at the end of June and in the beginning of July. And right here is Hurricane Dora with a well-formed eye. Top winds are 85 miles an hour. Looks like it's moving west-northwest, and pretty soon it's going to be heading into the colder waters of the Pacific. Once they get north of 20 degrees north, the water temperatures fall off rapidly, and these things tend to fall apart. So unless we've got some kind of trough out off the west coast to drive something like this further north, parallel to the coast, or even north-northeast, which this time of year usually is not the case, these storms, they form, they peak, and they die, and except for some shipping and the animals out in the Pacific, and one or two odd islands here and there, they really don't have much of an impact at all. So in terms of sensible weather, the day-to-day weather, there might be a severe weather risk to look ahead to on Tuesday in the northern and central plains, in the western parts of the northern and central plains. But other than that, the weather really is pretty quiet. We have a few pockets of marginal risks today, but nothing really excessive. And you're going to have these general areas of showers and thunderstorms anyhow. So any one of which can, sometimes they can outperform whatever the models are showing. So let me just back up, and we'll just take you through this week. Tomorrow we have this reinforcing cold front that's coming through here with a few scattered showers or maybe a thunderstorm. Some models don't even have anything. So I think you have to kind of put it in the forecast, and then you have this high that comes in for Wednesday with another dry, cool day with daytime temperatures in my area, at least, which is the New York City, Long Island, New Jersey, Hudson Valley, Connecticut, and eastern Pennsylvania area. Some places temperatures, they're going to be generally in the 70s, and in cool spots to the north, in parts of upstate New York and northern New England, I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be places where temperatures would be hard-pressed to get out of the 60s. And then that high moves off the mid-Atlantic coast, so we get into a west-southwest flow, which means beginning on Thursday we'll start to warm up and gradually turn more humid. We'll probably see a front approach Thursday night and Friday, with some showers and storms. And then you can see the threat kind of hangs around for the weekend. Front sort of gets hung up. It's waiting for another push to come in from the northwest. And it looks like there'll be the threat for showers and storms right through this coming weekend. But it doesn't, this time of year, it's hard to make it rain all day long. And a quick look at the beginnings of next week, because of the general troughing that will exist, and these weather systems, however weak, are going to be moving along. We do have the chance for showers and thunderstorms pretty much every day, it seems, through much of next week. Again, going into typical summertime mode. And as we look out in the west, now let me just back again. So, here's the potential for some severe weather for Tuesday night and Wednesday would be probably right up in here through parts of Nebraska, South and North Dakota, maybe even into northern Kansas, and that's pretty much it. And, out in the west, it's kind of in typical summertime mode here. You've got some action with systems coming into the Pacific Northwest, so you get these scattered showers and thunderstorms up through the northern Rockies during early next week. Looks like a nice little system sets up along the Oklahoma Panhandle with maybe some severe weather potential in parts of Nebraska and Kansas and into the Dakotas. Now remember, this time of year, the organized threats for severe weather have decreased and will continue to decrease because of the lack of big weather systems developing in the atmosphere. And, going forward, I don't really see too much to worry about in terms of day-to-day weather other than what you would normally expect at the end of June and in the beginning of July. So if you're in my neck of the woods, you're enjoying a beautiful, beautiful day, continue to please enjoy it. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. New subscribers, appreciate it very much. You can subscribe by just hitting the little red subscribe button on my channel page. It's absolutely free, and you'll get notifications when new videos come up, which is usually once a day, except in storm situations when things are a little bit more active. Don't forget to check out my website, posts on meteorologistjoechaffee.com. And you can follow me on Facebook at also Meteorologist Joe Chaffee, and I'm on Twitter also at Joe Chaffee, JoeCioffi. Have a great day, folks. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.